I think it was maybe 3 months ago. I watched what's it called? Building the Band on Netflix. And the performances were so good. Building a Band is this like music competition show where a group of people come together and they choose to be in a band with each other based on, whose performance you like. And so they form a band, right? And they have these great live performances and they choose who wins. Ultimately, someone wins. I'm not going to spoil it for you. It's a very nice show. It's on Netflix. You can go and watch it. But I went on Spotify to check out if they had the live recordings of those performances so I could listen to them. And I did. And I loved them. But I realized that after I would listen to each song, they would recommend a certain artist. Her name was Zania Monet. And I liked her voice. I was like, oh, who's this? She has a very powerful voice. She sounds really passionate. But as I kept listening, I realized that something was off about the way that she sang because her voice sounded so perfect, so polished that it was too good to be true. And it was. She's not real because she's AI. And I figured that out when I went to Google. I was like, "Who is Zania Monet? Who is that?" Because I love Victoria Monet, and so some other musician who has the name Monet, I just was curious. It's an AI musician, and I was so shocked. But then Spotify just kept recommending her. I would skip to the next song, and she would be back like 2 minutes later. I'm like, "What is happening, Spotify? What are you doing?" And I realized, wait, maybe the system is trying to push these AI stuff and not just like, I mean, we know that AI is pretty much like at this point, it's just like a capitalist propaganda, honestly. And they're really trying to make this thing sell. But AI music, I'm surprised that with how much commentary goes on in the music industry, in social media, we've not seen enough people talking about AI music.
On videos like these on YouTube or on social media, how exactly should I continue engaging with the AI topic? Because for sure, there are a lot of responses that are like, oh, Anthony, just like ignore it and don't talk about it, and you're making the problem worse by talking about it. I do sort of get that sentiment to a degree.
Yeah, but like, what do you mean stop talking about it when you have a whole machine behind this thing to push its propaganda, to normalize it? And one thing that I'm very good at clocking is when something is being artificially normalized in culture because you feel it because it has such an inorganic repetition, right? Like I know that I'm sorry, but some pop artists lately have been releasing albums that did flop. Some of them are paying on TikTok to have their music automatically appear in your video when you're posting it. Some of them are paying for people to some of them are like giving people rewards for doing challenges with their music, and it's like this is not organic. Like you're forcing this thing that wasn't good. And sometimes you have to be able to clock when something is being pushed by the system. And if it's being pushed by the system, you cannot ignore it. You can't be like, oh, let's not talk about it and then it's going to go away. No. I sound a little pissed. It's because I've been particularly frustrated by this AI music thing. I'm generally not big on AI, but AI music, it feels like a different level of like rot to me.
I mean, as of this moment, the AI generated rock band, the Velvet Sundown, is sitting at around like 200,000 monthly Spotify listeners, a number that was much higher when there were headlines galore about the band and the waves they were making on social media and on streaming. And a lot of that hype seems to have died down since. But this next artist who I'm talking
Also, I do think that, like I said, for the system, right? Like I said, like there are people, rich people behind this paying for this thing to be normalized. And the thing is that these people don't reach these numbers organically. If you see they have like 600, look, even your biggest pop stars on earth who have like, they're breaking all these streaming records and all that, some of those numbers, I think some of them might not be real. And so, how much more AI? How much more AI? If they're real human beings making real music, right? Who are paying, like, who may be allegedly. I'm not trying to get my 300 subscriber ass sued. But if some of them have or are probably paying for like these streaming farms to inflate their streaming numbers, how much more AI?
About in this video, Xania Monet, has not been discussed nearly as much, even by me, outside of an offhanded reference in a jokey AI tier list video that we did. And Xania's profile and audience seems to have grown so much larger than that of the Velvet Sundowns, with only a fraction of the debate around what she does. I mean, the most fervor I saw around this AI thing's music was off of some headlines about allegedly a multi-million-dollar deal. So honestly, this whole Xania thing has been growing much more covertly underneath the floorboards of the music industry.
I don't agree that it's been covert. I don't agree that it's been covert. If hello, random girl in Ghana, West Africa, has been able to clock this, then duh, you guys all over there in America at the forefront of the music industry should have been able to clock this way before. No offense, but I don't really feel like it's been that covert. I just feel like I think it's way too many people that don't care.
Like a termite infestation or some mold. Because again, not only are we seeing, honestly, some really impressive monthly listener numbers on platforms like Spotify, but also Xania has multiple songs that have gained many more streams than that of some of the most popular Velvet Sundown songs. Currently, this Xania thing has an Instagram crew that, like, some of the comments under these posts look kind of generic and botted, just random hearts and stuff like that. But by that same token, there are also many interactions under these posts that, like, honest to God, look real. Amazing lyrics, amazing voice, showing the one true God loving your songs. They are just mad because they don't do it like this. This is how the music industry should be, focusing on the talent and always praising God. Music is music. If it touches... Amazing lyrics, amazing voice, showing the true God, the true something something. They are just mad because they don't like it. They don't do it like this. Who is mad that they don't do it like this? The AI is copying how people actually do it. Copying human beings. Who is not doing it like this? Like, the AI is copying human beings. Who is not doing it like that? Because the who you're talking about is who your precious AI is copying. And I can't believe I'm here, like, I'm sorry, is humanity really about to, like, beef with AI? This is how the music industry should be. Focus on the talent. Now tell me this person was either not paid to say this, or they're not a bot. Because what in the unnecessary defense, right? Like, what in the who sent you here? Yeah, what are you saying? Always praising God. Music is music. If it touches your soul and the lyrics resonate with you, it's music. There's no difference between a writer having a singer sing their song or a writer having AI sing it. Haters gonna hate, but this is talent. My wife loves your songs. What is talent? I don't know. Who the fuck knows? These comments could be fake as hell. All of this could just be one huge fucking massive psyop, but what's not helping is that the music industry more or less seems to be, like, all fine with this. Because the reason Xania Monet has been such a topic of discussion over this past weekend is because the song How Was I Supposed to Know has apparently been doing some numbers on the Billboard Adult R&B chart on the radio. Honest to God, the song is getting fucking radio play. So not only is the song charting, but Billboard is...
You can sense that there's this systemic effort being put into normalizing this. Like, this is not like some random person making AI music and them getting lucky. It feels like the system is trying to normalize it. It's trying to just make it sort of blend into culture. And it's not lost on me that it is the thing that's cosplaying a black woman. It's what is doing best. Like, that's what's performing the best. Because they know that, like, black women are, like, part of, like, one of the biggest demographies when it comes to culture and, like, setting a trend. And, you know, a lot of what becomes pop culture and becomes popular, and a lot of it is from black women and black people in general. And so if you do that, you know that that's going to, you know, have people move people. You have, like, a black woman or a black woman AI. What? singing with such a soulful voice and all of these relatable lyrics about struggle and all of that, that's going to resonate to the next black woman. Do you understand? And then she's going to share it. And so there is a certain there's a certain way that I feel like it's being targeted as at people who have a higher chance of like resonating with it. That's one. Two, people who have such an influence on culture, and therefore it would be easier for you to like sort of, sneak it into the culture without people, and before people know it, shit, wait, this is actually AI. And that's what's been happening. Like someone sees a black woman, oh, a black woman, beautiful voice, yada yada yada, bum bum kaka, and they're listening to her, cool. And then you realize 2 weeks after listening to her and loving her story and feeling like you can relate with it, that it's not real.
Is posting articles about the song charting, which are like not really negative or, shocked in tone. Like they more or less seem fine with this whole thing, despite the fact that Billboard has changed the rules around like how things chart and what numbers are necessary to chart and how exactly they calculate all this shit. Like they could easily say, hey, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't let AI artists chart or totally generated AI slop chart, be it when they all vote on it. They can make this decision today, and they're not making it because they're like, you know what? No, let this slop rot the Billboard charts and basically replace as many artists as it can and make artistry and popularity basically pointless. And what's funny is that this is not even the first time this Xania Monet
Genuinely, like for example, and I don't want to bring this up, but Taylor Swift being able to dominate the charts every time she releases an album, whether the music is good or not. It has, and also being able to just block people blocking people and blocking people, all of that has personally turned me off of the significance of charts in art. Like I don't even care anymore that someone's song didn't chart, or I don't know, this person didn't get to number one. I don't use that at all as a metric. I didn't. But at first, it used to be a nice thing to be able to say, oh, I love this album and it went to number one. But now I can't even care because it's so artificial. It's so cheap to be number one now that I don't even care if someone didn't make it to number one. And I think as time goes on and on, it's going to become less and less important that someone did not make it to number one or someone made it to number one. Like it's not going to be that big of a deal. Fine, you break the record first week, second week, everybody moves on from what you made. Then you've not made anything of substance.
AI thing has charted because apparently this project nailed down a hot gospel songs placement with the track Let Go, Let God. Really? An AI gospel track? I don't know if this needs to be spelled out, but
it's a cheat code,
AI. What the fuck? Does it know about God? What does it know about?
Yeah, but don't you see the way that even the first and second songs on that chart were by black women? I think it's Cissy Williams and someone else. Like it falls very much it blends into it, right? It blends into that environment, and it'll have people thinking, oh hi, one of us, let's listen to her. And then as time goes on, you have it slowly being normalized. Then before you know it, oh, it's AI.
Spirituality or sinning or temptation or belief in a higher power. It's AI. It doesn't believe in anything. Why are you letting a robot tell you about how much it loves God? Like an AI pop song, I guess, is one thing. Oh, it's summer. I got broke up with, what a bummer. Tell us about how much it misses its dead loved ones. And doing it in a way that is meant to replace actual R&B and gospel artists. And I don't care how much the people who support this bullshit say, oh, that's not what this is for. That's not the point. Even this AI thing's name reads like a ripoff of Victoria Monet. And look, it does seem to be...
And low-key, her skin tone also looks like Victoria Monet's. And Victoria Monet is one of the best R&B musicians of this time. One of the best songwriters of this time. And it feels like an insult, right?
working in terms of like convincing some listeners. And most likely, whatever playlisting this song is seeing, people aren't being told that it's AI there too. Like, this shit is not being adequately labeled. And given the typical history of how AI music has gone hand in hand with, like, you know, botting and fake streams and like, who knows how much of these tracks algorithmically are being shoved down people's throats because of that. Now, for a second here, I thought it would make sense to kind of give you guys a little bit of background on this AI music project, because there has been a lot of theorizing that this like merely exists as some kind of like purely white guy created AI figure to profit off of black art, music, and aesthetics.
And I'm telling you, I don't know. You know, I don't really know though how far it goes in terms of the hierarchy of who is paying who to do what. But when I went to search Zenea Monet, when I went to search her, I realized it was another black woman who was supposedly a content creator who created Zenea Monet. I don't remember her Instagram handle, but when you go on, or at least at that time when I went on Zenea Monet's, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right now, I don't care. When I went to its the profile, it had in the bio, it had the account of the person who created it on there, and then I went to that person's account, and she just kept talking about this musician, this music that she's making through AI, like. So she's the one creating all that. I think. If the account is still there, you can go and check it, or maybe just don't forget it, or maybe do to educate yourself, bro. I don't carbon copy,
and for sure, to an extent, it is that. But allegedly, the mastermind behind Zenea Monet is one Talisha Nikki Jones.
It's her. It's the Nikki Jones lady. It's her. She's the one whose at is. Yes, the Nikki Jones. I didn't see the Talisha. I only saw someone whose name starts with an N on that profile, and it's this lady. And I remember that profile picture because she had her back to the mirror and she was showing us, you know, her ass.
Who is said to be basically like the lyricist behind the project, though who knows if every single word going into these songs is like purely coming out of her head. I mean, in theory, that could be the case, but simultaneously, it's just as easy, if not easier, to AI generate lyrics to along with music, like the most cliche observations on loved ones and spirituality and relationships having to be strong.
I remember the first song that I watched, that I listened to of hers, but then I remember just thinking, you're writing about human emotion and experience, but there's something about it that feels like it's not coming from a human place, right? Because the reflections on it feel, it's almost like when someone repeats what you said to them, it like it's like, what's happening? Yes, but no.
When things are hard. Like, honestly, the musings contained within these lyrics are so dime a dozen, it would kind of be a waste of time to actually sit there and think about them. In addition to that, I mean, the music itself, there's not really a whole lot to report. In terms of Zenea delivering pretty much the same type of boring and overly saccharine millennial balladry that we've heard 100 times before, but with an R&B twist, a few gospel nods here and there too, digital production, overused chord progressions, and in addition to that, what's maybe the most gross and disappointing thing about Zenea's music is, despite how vocally intensive these styles of music are, you get that same shitty, splotchy, scratchy sound and aesthetic on the vocals that feel like they've been fed through a really bad, low-quality MP3, like you get with, you know, most AI music.
This is how I knew that something was wrong here. Because you're also selling an AI course, basically.
Making history in real time. Overjoyed isn't even the word. People cling to what they're used to until someone proves there's more. And when you break a barrier they swore couldn't be touched, it shakes everything. Now here we are. I created the first AI artist on Billboard Radio Airplay, the same space they said wasn't built for this. When innovation steps in, the world has two options: fight it or adjust, and eventually they adjust. This is bigger than me. It's proof that the future doesn't wait for permission. Bro, chill out, chill. This person basically punched a bunch of words into an AI prompt, and she's acting like she invented the fucking automobile. I'm sorry, but like the attitude this person is showcasing is like the level of pretentiousness that artists usually get painted with impunity for actually creating art with their fingers, their minds, their voices. I don't know. Even if it's some of the worst music ever created, I think artists who are actually working off of their own ideas have more license to feel this way about themselves than somebody who's just like fucking telling Suno what to do. But yeah,